Okay, I've got a great question for you today. So I'm Dale from daledarley.com, and here's my question for today. How do you perceive writing a book will change your life? So I'm going to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about the very first book that I wrote, and then I'm going to talk about the most recent book and tell you how these books have changed my life. But if you haven't started writing a book, how do you perceive that writing a book is going to change your life? So way back when I decided to write this particular book, I actually had no idea about how it's going to change my life. I didn't even think of the question. Absolutely none whatsoever. All I knew is I wanted to write a book. That's all that was in my head. I want to write a book. Nothing. But what I didn't know, it was going to change my life in that I went on to help people write what I call healing memoirs, but that they never published. And then what happened from there is a couple of people said, do you know what, I've been through this journey with you about, writing a healing book. I want to publish. And I was like, oh, really? So I then helped people to write and publish books. So I didn't realise that was going to become my career. I honestly didn't. I was doing one thing and it completely changed the trajectory of my life. But I didn't know that was going to happen. I had no idea. I didn't even think of this question back then. When it comes to this latest book, so this is a co-authored book, how do I perceive this book is going to change my life? Well, first of all, it's already started having some benefits because I was terrified I've got two stories in this book. I was terrified to share my story. So it's changed my life in that writing the chapters helped me to re-heal those things. So when the stuff came up, I went through a healing process. I wrote in my journal. I went for a walk and I talked it through with a therapist that does EMDR. So we did some extra healing. Wow. Talk about massive changes as I wrote those stories. So my perception was that when I wrote, I would heal some more. I wasn't expecting the massive healing. What I didn't realise as well was how different people would see me, because this book's got in the hands of a lot of women. If you know a woman who has got lots of deep emotional scars and trauma and needs to heal, this is a great book to recommend. But I wasn't expecting, I thought, I'm going to write these stories. It's going to get me over a hump. And then I'm going to publish my own memoir that's been lurking on my computer for years. So my perception was this was going to get into the hands of the right women. The right women would connect with me, and then I would have the courage to write my own story. So all that has happened. Stuff that has happened that I wasn't expecting is I now am going to write 2 more books. One is that one. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to publish my memoir, and I'm going to start writing novels. But there'll be healing elements in the novels. So we don't often know how a book is going to change our life. And my invitation is just to step into your heart space and say, what do I think is going to happen? What is my perception of what is going to happen when I write this book? So just have to think about that. So get your journal out, have a write. I've told you my name is Dale. You find me at daledarley.com. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I have a group on Facebook called the Soul Writers Lounge. Pop in there. Tell us, how do you perceive writing a book is going to change your life?